It's really great to have you. You, as usual, been following what's happening in India so closely. You've always had this amazing passion for India. Now that we're in a lockdown, what is your overview of what is happening at the moment in India? Are we doing well? Are we handling it properly? What's your view?
I think what needs to be done have to be classified into various forms, like what needs to be done immediately, and then some things in the medium to long horizon. What needs to be done immediately, because of mistakes that have been made, particularly with respect to the declaration of the lockdown without arranging for enough food and shelter for the migrant workers and the suddenly unemployed people. But now that has happened, the tremendous amount of dislocation and destitution that has happened, immediately I would suggest three things. One is, of course, I think it's already started, various kinds of community kitchens all over, wherever it's possible. But apart from community kitchens, the other thing I don't see much discussion of in India is, I think it's high time that we start on the lines of the Mahatma Gandhi NREGA in the rural areas. We need now a similar program in urban areas to put back to these people on work, because they are going away not voluntarily. But for the formal sector workers, medium to large enterprises, also, instead of laying off people, what they should do immediately is something that France and few other North European countries are doing, namely prohibiting all layoffs. And in exchange, the government is providing wage subsidies. So in other words, for example, in India, a very large percentage of workers, of course, even in factories, are not regular workers, they're casual workers. Not casual, contract workers. So if immediately the government announces that no layoffs either of regular workers or contract workers, and in return, the government should provide some wage subsidy for anybody who's in the payroll. That should help the company, the employers, to keep those people in the labor force. There is one big advantage of that, and this is the main reason, one of the main reasons that Europeans are doing it, is that as and when the economy tries to get in shape back to normal, it's easier to people who are already on the payroll and getting wage subsidy, so in some sense working, to get them back to normal is much easier than if people get laid off and then hired back again. That's much more time consuming. It creates more dislocation and, of course, mental distress. So altogether, I would mention these three things that I mentioned. The first two primarily for the very poor in the informal sector, and the third is primarily for the formal sector.
Right.
These three at least should be done immediately.